Hello, this is Wang with Constellation Research. Today, we're going to spend some time understanding why the digital brain matters in customer experience. This is the three A's of CX: analytics, automation, and AI all into one area. Well, why is this important? Well, data is the foundation of every CX powered experience. Every company will be competing for a concept we call data supremacy. That data supremacy is important. It takes five technologies to get us there. It's getting information into the cloud, it's taking advantage of data, and more importantly, it's starting with an analytics mindset. It's figuring out how to apply automation and how do we actually get AI and ML to deliver on real time customer experiences. These customer experiences more and more are powered in the background in terms of what we call ambient experiences. Ambient experiences, they just happen in the background. They're contextual. They know what's going on. They're actually powered by data and insights honed over time, curated over every interaction, and more importantly, building the back of what we call a digital brain or what we call a data graph. That business graph, that data graph is so important. Think about it. You have smart speakers. You understand that they're listening in, they're studying your behavior, they're understanding what you order, they want to understand the keywords, right? More importantly, you've experienced this already with streaming services like Netflix. You have the ability to actually make suggestions, make recommendations. They tell you what's going to happen next. They provide suggestions. You like sports coaching? Fine, Ted Lasso's for you. Canadian dystopian sci-fi? Well, hey, let me suggest The Expanse, right? If you want something a little bit more fun, we'll hand you over some Korean dramas. If you want a little more action and interest, we'll get you some adventure along the way. That's how this works. It's delivering that stuff in the background. It's not in your face. More importantly, technologies like augmented reality and virtual reality are delivering these experiences in new formats over time. And of course, we're going to get Minority Report type experiences of suggestions and ideas and insight just in the hands of individuals so they're making better decisions. Autonomous vehicles are a great example of where this will happen. They'll know where to drop you off. They'll know their supply chain routes. They'll actually might deliver your car, might put your car into service when you're not using it. And more importantly, you might even just subscribe to a car service instead of own the car. That's what's going to drive these new models. That's going to drive these new experiences. And we're going to see that happen pretty soon. Now, why is this important? We are battling for a concept called data supremacy, and it starts with analytics. We are asking the right questions. We are measuring the right information and insights. And more importantly, these aren't vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are like, hey, I got 1 million views. Okay, great. But what did you do with it? You tie a metric to an action, number of shares, right? Number of shares on a view, that's important. How much money did you drive from those views? What's the ratio, the financials? When you tie an action and a financial to the back end, you're asking the right business questions, you're measuring the right results. We take that information, we put that together, and we create these feedback loops. We are separating the noise. We're separating the signal from the noise. We're trying to reduce all that noise that's out there. There's a ton of noise. But if you can get to that, we can start the process of building signal intelligence. In a digital world, every action is a feedback signal. Every action is a demand signal. Every action provides context over time. We want to automate those decisions. Think about that. If we can understand what the false positives, what the false negatives are, we have an opportunity to actually deliver better precision. We have an opportunity to improve results. Now, why is that important? We are dealing with a concept called decision velocity. You and I make one decision per second. It takes us how long to get out of management committee? A week? A month? A quarter? It takes a long time. Machines are making 1,000 decisions per second. How do we compete with that? That asymmetry is going to be the difference between the winners and losers in the economy. Being able to make fast decisions, precise decisions, that's what this is all about. We're ultimately building this digital brain, which is the competitive moat. We call it a business graph. You might know this in my book, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's about data-driven digital networks. These are the 100-year platforms that power insight, that power capability to reach that future. This business graph gives us the ability to take transactions, bring them to life, build out the social business and the engagement aspects that allow us to take transactions, create two-way interactions. We then take those engagements and that information to create experiences and journeys. And over time, we apply the context to deliver mass personalization at scale. And at some point, we're going to get to autonomous enterprises that are self-directing, self-healing. This takes us to my favorite example, which is really about the toaster. How do we build AI-driven business models, improve customer experience all into one? We can start with the toaster. How many folks in here actually register their toaster? Fill out the warranty card. Come on, come on. Does anybody do this? Okay, let's be honest. Not a lot of people typically fill out the warranty card, right? But what's the first phone call like for the manufacturer? I love your toaster. It's amazing. I want to buy 3 more. No, that's not what happens. My toast caught on fire. It burns my toast. It's broken. I don't know how to use it, right? I want to return, right? The first interaction is awful between the customer and the manufacturer. In fact, the manufacturer doesn't even know if the customer owns their toaster, right? They don't even know what model they have. And so here you are, because you didn't register your toaster. There's no idea. The customer has no idea if the manufacturer knows them. The manufacturer has no idea who the customer is for sure. And we had this interaction for 30 minutes where basically the first interaction is a negative customer experience and you're losing money. It's a $40 toaster. You just burned $5 on a half-hour contact center call. You blew your margin. There's nothing left. It's a bad experience. But we can change that if you just register for the toaster, connect it to the internet. So I'm going to make you an offer. Register the toaster, connect it to the internet, put it in a junk account, put it to a junk account, put it to a fake number. It doesn't matter. I just want to be able to monitor the toaster, the performance, understand how it's going. And you know what? I'll tell you 90 days before the toaster is about to die, I'll make you an offer to buy the same toaster. When it dies 15 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever that time is, we'll give you 20% off the original purchase price. And of course, we'll keep you updated on any kind of issues, recalls, and all that stuff. Just register the toaster. Simple, one click, snap the QR code, you are done. Would you now register your toaster? If you do, we unleash a whole bunch of new experiences. I can monitor the toaster, figure out which features are being used, understand performance data, do field service in the background. I can figure out, why do toasters break more in Houston than in Denver? It's the humidity. No, not the altitude. It's the humidity that makes toasters break more in Houston. The altitude's good in Denver. Why do toasters in New York break more than toasters in Kansas City? No, it's not the New Yorkers. It's actually the bagels. Yes, they get jammed. They screw up the toaster. And so I can come back later and make you an offer and say, hey, look, for 50 cents for the next 6 years, I'm going to offer you this toaster for 50 cents for the next 6 years. We will monitor it. If something breaks, we'll send you a brand new toaster. Would you do that? Would you do toast as a service? Yes, for 50 cents a month for the next 6 years, it's about $36. You now get this toaster. Amazing. And of course, I just did direct to consumer, and I could cross-sell something to you in the future. 5 business models powered by data, all here: customer experience monitoring, remote field service, toast as a service, direct to consumer, and I can cross-sell you other kitchen appliances. Our goal here is to take data, all types of data, organize that into information streams around customer service, around marketing, around sales, around commerce. And when we do that against those information flows, we find patterns. We take those patterns of insight and we decide how to create that next best action. That's what we're trying to do here. Go from data to decisions, and we can ultimately deliver mass personalization at scale. How do we do that? We start with context. We then have choices. When we have what we call anticipatory analytics. Context is weather, location, time. How do you feel? Your sentiment. Where are you in the journey? Choose your own venture. Remember these books? Great books. You start on page 1. You go to page 72. You make a choice. Oh, wait, I'm going to choose number 3. Okay, fine. You're going to go to page 40. You're going to choose this other action. Pretty soon, there's 17 possible endings. You've tried everything. Well, in the digital world, you have attribution. You know context. Every choice is a demand signal. That's an important piece. And then, of course, once we take those demand signals into the next level, we get to anticipatory analytics. Remember Wayne Gretzky, famous hockey player? Someone asked his father, why is Wayne such a great hockey player? Well, he skates to where the puck will be. Why do you know where the puck's going to be? Well, that's through experience. You make a guess. It's an educated guess to figure out what that next best action is. And over time, you get better and better. That's anticipatory analytics. I'll give you an example. Smart services. Let's put AI-driven experiences to work. Let's talk about this digital brain concept, a 360-degree customer view. We'll take an office example. I walk into a 50-story skyscraper. It's 2 p.m. I'm in the lobby. The camera kicks in, 27-point facial analysis. Gate analysis says, hey, that's the guy on the 15th floor. Well, send an elevator down. There's nobody else there. All the elevators are up. I should have an elevator rating as I'm getting there, so I don't have to wait that long. I swipe my badge. It says, oh, yeah, that's the guy on the 15th floor. 95% chance he's going to the 15th floor. That's the first one. I have a choice. I have context. I have anticipatory analytics. They're right. But choice 2 pops up. I've been trying to meet with my boss. She's on the 47th floor. And guess what? There's time to meet with the boss. There's an 80% chance I might take that deal. But wait, I'm not done. There are free donuts on the 15th floor. An A/B test pops up and says, hey, would you like to go to the 15th floor and get your donuts? We are now delivering ambient experiences that are AI-driven using the digital brain. And that's where the future of CX is. Start with the digital exhaust, what's going on, give me some immersive experiences, take the context, take the content, engage with me, deliver it to a channel. It's in my headset, it's in my phone, it's on the console. And then, of course, we do personalization. You apply anticipatory analytics, make an offer, and I guess that's my choice. A catalyst, I take that choice, we go forward. And sometimes I buy something. That's value exchange, that's monetary. Sometimes I take action, I share something, I give someone to something, I forward it. That's a non-monetary action. I make a recommendation. Or we have an agreement, a contract. We have consensus. We actually delivered something. We schedule an appointment. And of course, we study the cadence. Is that one time? Is that repetitive? Do we keep doing that? Is that one off? We learn about that. We apply the machine learning, and we're ready. We're now able to get into the world of AI, analytics, AI, and automation all into one. And we figure it out. Processes, highly repetitive, automation. Processes, lots of volume, we get overwhelmed. We got to use automation. A lot of time to completion, we can't hire more people. Automation, lots of nodes of interaction. Yeah, we're good at multitasking, but you're trying to do 5 things at once, that's going to automation. Of course, if it's highly complex, you can't model in math, that's going to human. Highly creative, machines aren't good at that. We're good at creating rules. We are even better at breaking rules. And more importantly, physical presence where it doesn't harm an individual, we're going to do full automation on that. The goal here ultimately is to drive outcomes using AI, using that digital brain, putting that to use. Tell me what's going on. Give me perception. You're seeing everything. Wait, too much information? Let's switch it. Give me a notification, an alert. Tell me only the things I want to know. Oh, wait, that's too much too. Why don't you make a recommendation? You know what I want. You've been studying me over time. Now let's automate those recommendations and let's create some prediction. Tell me what's about to happen. Forecast the future. Help me prevent a disaster from happening. That's where we're going. Those are the spectrums that we're trying to get to. Prevention is important. It's about identifying and mitigating risk. So in every customer experience journey, we're going to be asking these 4 questions. When do we have full intelligent automation? When do we actually augment the machine with a human? Think about that. 99% accuracy in healthcare sounds great, right? Oh, you're like, no, I want more accuracy than that. Well, let's be honest. Your doctor might be 87% accurate. Well, hey, how do we get there? How do we learn the exceptions? Why did you break the rules? What are we doing here? And then more importantly, what were you trying to do? Well, we're trying to figure out how to actually augment the machine with a human. How do we do that, right? Okay, well, how do we augment the human with the machine? Give them the information. Democratize access, make faster decisions, empower your workers, empower your customer frontline agents so that they can be successful. And then the last piece is when you're going to trust human judgment. Those 4 questions are going to be asked in every part of CX going forward. Everyone's going to be asking these questions. There's no way that you're going to figure out how to build customer experience without thinking about where these experiences play a role with analytics, automation, and AI. Simple example, 2 p.m. Okay, I check into my favorite hotel. I get the full experience. People greet me. I get a flute of champagne. I walk in, someone smiles, greets, sends me to the room. Totally love that. I love that. That's one of full human judgment, human experience. 2 a.m.? Hell no. I'm just going to want to make sure I'm a mobile key. Everything's automated. I'm going to straight to the room. I don't even want to see anybody. We're going to see when we actually do automation and when we actually look at human judgment. This is all happening super fast. We're seeing it right away. The important piece to understand is that this is the future. And we start out in 5 levels, just like autonomous vehicles. We're going to want to know what's going on, right? How do these autonomous vehicles work? How do we get there? First one, basic automation. How do we get there? Level 2, human directed. That's more than cruise control. It's driving itself. That's wonderful. Well, when we get to level 3, it's machine intervention. I'm backing up. Beep, beep, beep. The brake kicks in. Right? I avoid hitting someone behind me. And then level 4 hits, fully autonomous. The thing's driving itself. You don't really need humans yet, but level 5, don't even need any humans. We are getting close to doing that. Well, let's talk real quick about Airtel. Here's the future, right? Here's where we're going. 3 A's, power the digital brain, right? Anything from your data lakes and BSS, OSS, your billing systems, operating systems are all coming together. You have real-time triggers that happen when postpaid, prepaid, broadband, and DTM come into play. They power the digital brain. They then get out to your omni-channel capabilities, your next best action, your digital advertising, the ability to deliver mass personalization, and CLM 3.0. We are using data. We're using analytics, automation, and AI to drive that future. And this is where we're headed in the future of CX. Once again, I'm Ray Wang with Constellation Research. If you got any questions, please direct them here. More importantly, hope you have a wonderful conference. Thank you for having me here.